Jamaica. Wagwan, everybody. I am your Jamaican Queen, Miss Y. You are tuned into How I See It TV, and this is Y'all. I'm watching this. Please remember to like this video, share the link to my channel if you feel like the content needs some more crowd. Subscribe if you have not done so as yet. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, now called X, at How I See It, and on TikTok at How I See It TV. Before I get into talking about these two shows that you see on the thumbnail, I just want to remind y'all that parts of Jamaica has been destroyed by Hurricane Melissa. There are people, entire families that have now been displaced, home gone. They have no clothes, they have no food, and they are trying to recover from this. I am sure that it's a traumatic experience for everyone involved. And my prayers, my true prayers go out to everyone in my country who has been severely impacted by Hurricane Melissa. I'm working on doing my part to aid in the relief efforts. There are several drop off locations here in South Florida where I reside currently. And so I'm working on, getting some packages together so that I can drop off to these locations or one of the locations, so that they can, send off the necessary items to the impacted areas. I don't know where majority of you are from, but I'm sure that there one thing about Jamaicans, we are everywhere, child. The Jamaican diaspora is huge. So I'm sure that whatever state you residing, there is probably someone, some organization in your state that has a drop off location where you can go ahead and, drop off some new or gently used clothes or shoes, some tarps, um, non perishable food items, flashlights, um, stuff like that. Or if you don't have the time to go drop off something at a drop off location, um, two reputable organizations, well, more than two, I think about three or four reputable organizations that I know of that you can donate to right now from the comfort of your home. We can't take that for granted right now. We are in the comfort of our homes, and there are many people right now in Jamaica that cannot say that right now. So if you are unable to find a drop off location, then you can donate to Food for the Poor Jamaica. You can donate to Food for the Poor Jamaica. You can donate to Walk Good. um, just go to Shirley Ralph's Instagram page, and that will literally connect you to What Good Jamaica. That is an organization owned by Shirley Ralph and her children. Many of you know Shirley Ralph is born and raised Jamaican. Her mom is her mom is an very, I would say, historic figure in the country. So you can donate to Shirley Rouse Foundation. You can donate to Ramesh Entertainment. Just go to Ramesh Entertainment on Instagram. They are doing amazing right now in, packing out stuff and delivering stuff to the areas that are impacted. um you can donate to I think Angel's Foundation. Go to D, literally D, the letter D, Angel on Instagram, and find out how you can donate to her Angel's Foundation. So there's plenty of ways that you can help if your heart, is leading you to. People need help. I know Haiti, they're going through it right now. Prayers up for Haiti. Cuba as well are going through it. The Caribbean is getting knocked left, right, and center because of Hurricane Melissa. So, however you can help, please do so. And that's my spiel regarding that. Um, let's talk real quickly about the Braxton family values. And I'll start here. I have always been a fan of Tamar. I haven't always been a fan of her antics on social media. I think Tamar, in my opinion, is better than some of the things that she has been caught up in the media, in the social media for doing. But she has always been my favorite. I love Tony Braxton. Tony Braxton, the voice. Is Tony Braxton tenor or alto? I don't know. But that deep smoky tone that Tony Braxton had, I grew up listening to Miss Tony Legend Braxton. Okay? But when Tamar, I first learned, or I should say that how I was introduced to Tamar is probably different from how some of you all were introduced to Tamar. I was introduced to Tamar through The Real, that daytime TV show that was on Fox back in the day. I think they used to come on after Wendy Williams. And when I was in Jamaica and I was at home in the daytime, I would watch Wendy Williams and then I would watch The Real. And that is how I was introduced to Tamar. And I fell in love with her personality. She was the draw for me on that show. Okay, not sister, not Jeannie, not Adrian, definitely not Lonnie. Okay, and I was sad when they fired Tamar from The Real. I stopped watching The Real after Tamar left, and I think that's why The Real fell off because the entertainment, the person who was really keeping it real over there, left, and then the show just lost its spark. And that's how I was introduced to Tamar, and then through that, I was introduced to her music. And as I said, I like Tamar, right? Not the antics that she does, but I like her personality. And in watching the Braxtons, I just always felt like there was a little bit of hatred there. Or maybe not hatred, but resentment. I felt like her sisters resented her for whatever reason. And it could be a plethora of things. Tony Braxton laid it out that out of all the siblings, her and Tamar were literally the only ones that were helping to financially take care of their mother, Miss Evelyn. Tony Braxton laid it out that out of all of the sisters, Tamar was the only one who never charged her for backup singing. And Tamar was taken aback and saddened by the reality that she didn't know that everybody else was getting paid for doing backup vocals for Tony while she was doing it for free. And I would feel some type of way. Tamar even said that a lot of the times she is the last person in the family to know things. Serious things will be happening in the family, and she'll be the last to know. And when she voices her opinions and her feelings regarding things like that, they will say she's being too sensitive. They'll say, here goes Tamar again, trying to play the victim, trying to make everything about her, just always invalidating her feelings. I remember one episode where I think it was I don't remember which one of the sisters were opening a restaurant. That restaurant is now closed. But that sister was opening a restaurant and everybody was giving their opinions about like what kind of food should be offered at this restaurant and bar. And Tamar was like, you should serve wings and truffle fries because when I get drunk, I want to go to the bar and eat some wings and truffle fries. And I think it was Trina just got so upset because Tamar was giving this opinion. And mind you, everybody else was giving their thoughts and opinions because they were being asked. And Trina, I think it was, just got absolutely ridiculously mad at Tamar for suggesting some wings and some truffle fries and just told Tamar out of the blue, you should go raise your son. And I'm like, what in the world? What? What? And so let's not fast forward yet. I won't forget that Toni Braxton did an interview where she talked about how two of her sisters stole from her, was stealing money from her. Several seasons ago, Tamar talked about how she was financially providing for Tawanda. And now we fast forward to this season, and just the level of resentment that Tawanda has towards Tamar, it's just something's wrong there. And I don't think it has anything to do with all the reasons why they feel like Tamar is just team too much. I just feel like there are people in this world when they have to depend on you, they end up hating that they have to depend on you. Mind you, all they have to do is tell you, no, thank you, I don't need your help. All they have to do is not ask for your help, but they ask for the help. Or if the help is offered, they receive it. And then they walk around with a stank attitude because they wish that they didn't have to take a handout from you. And I think that is Tawanda's problem. Because how are you going to sit in the presence of a woman who helped you with the down payment for your home when you have a strong, able bodied man that you just married? And you want to sit in her presence and be snarky. And I believe Tamar when she said that she found out that she was paying Tawanda's family phone plan for years and wasn't being told. Because I can just imagine that, you're just this you're this wealthy person and you have a whole bunch of bills that you're paying. Because even me, I'm not as wealthy as a Tamar Braxton or a Tony Braxton, right? I am not by any means. And I downloaded Rocket Money, the Rocket Money app on my phone, because sometimes I would see some Apple payment charges and I'm like, what am I paying for? Like, I don't understand. So I was like, I need to figure out what subscriptions I have because I would go into my Apple settings and I'm not seeing like why some of these charges are leaving my account. And so I downloaded the Rocket Money app and then by linking my accounts or whatever to that app, it showed me like certain things that I was still subscribed to that I wasn't even using anymore. And I deleted that with the quickness. So I can just imagine a Tamar Braxton not really, checking her credit card statements, just paying bills. And when she finally takes a second to look at what she's paying for, like, why is my credit card bill $6,000? And then you look at the statement and you're like, what phone plan is this? Only to look closer and find out that it's your sister's family plan that you've somehow been paying for 2, 3 years. And they want to sit in her face and act as if that is something that can't be proven. And I hate the way Tony looks at the camera and dismissed Tamar, talking about how Tawanda was allegedly stealing from her. When Tony, you know that you experienced the same thing with Tawanda. Well, name is Cece. Tawanda is a convicted thief. She got off on parole. I think it was what, 4 years probation or whatever. It was something that happened, I think, in like 2005, where she was working for an insurance company and she was accused of stealing checks. And allegedly, according to the news reports, she even cashed one of the checks at like a liquor store. And she was tried and she was found guilty. But maybe because she holds the Braxton name, she got off with paying some fines, and I think it was like 4 years or 5 years probation. So this is somebody who was found in the court of law to be guilty of theft. Tony, you already said she stole from you. So why is it so far-fetched that Tamar is saying some way, somehow, this sister got her hands on her credit card and connected her credit card to a phone bill? That is stealing. It's stealing, especially if you know the person doesn't know and might never find out. And it took years for Tamar to find out. And then to bring up how Tamar supposedly, slept with one of Tony's exes. When Tamar was talking to the showrunner, I don't remember his name, and she said, Tawanda is bringing up something that happened in 1995. I was like, how old was Tamar in 1995? She, depending on what part of 1995 it was, she was 17 or 18 years old in 1995. Again, depending on what part of 1995 we're talking about. If it was early part of 1995, before her 18th birthday, she would have been 17, a minor. 18 in my book is still a minor because majority of 18-year-olds are fully dependent on their parents still. So I'm sure any man that Tamar, had any intimacy with when she was 17 or 18 were grown men who should have known better than to be playing around with a minor. And to wonder, I didn't forget that. Ooh, sorry, y'all. Tawana, I didn't forget that you admitted on the Braxtons that you were the one who filled out the Iyanla Fix My Life questionnaire and added to your questionnaire that you wanted Iyanla to, I guess, quote unquote, help with whatever trauma Tamar experienced as a child at the hands of someone who molested her. And you all knew that Tamar did not want to discuss that on that show. She was not ready to discuss it publicly. And Tawanda was the one who said, "Heads up, Ian Levinson and the team. You should also talk about this." That wasn't your story to tell. And it's how we know Tawanda hates that girl, because how are you how are you going to put somebody else's trauma out there for entertainment? Because as much good as Iyanla's show did, it was still entertainment. And I like Iyanla. However, the way that she dealt with Tamar's anger in not wanting to discuss that very personal and traumatic event in her life, I thought was wrong. Tamar was completely invalidated in that moment. You can't tell her how to feel about people wanting to put information out there that she's not ready to put out. And the minute she said no, she didn't want to talk about it, it should have been done. There should have been no more questions. But that has been a constant thread on the Braxtons, where whether because Tamar is the youngest or because they feel like she does too much, it's always a constant thread of let's invalidate Tamar's feelings. Let's invalidate what Tamar's opinions are. And for this little, squabble to happen between the sisters and Tawanda to walk up to to Tony Braxton's face and talk about let's press charges. Let's press charges. The way Tony looked at her like, girl, be for real. Like, are you serious? I'm not about to press charges against my baby sister. That's crazy. Like, literally, that's how Tony looks at Tawanda. Again, Tawanda constantly shows how much she hates Tamar. I mean, she already said she resents Tamar for walking away from the group. The group really that was not going to go anywhere. And I have constantly said on social media that Tawanda's and some of the sisters' biggest issue with Tamar is that when the Tony Braxton money tree kind of dried up, because remember, Tony had to file for bankruptcy several times. She was going through her own financial struggles at some point in time. I remember that Oprah Winfrey show interview that Tony did, and Oprah was shading the hell out of her. But Tony went through a period where she was struggling. And everybody had to go and figure it out for themselves during that time, I'm assuming. And Tamar was out there putting in the work even before Vince. Tony said this on the show. Tamar said this on the show. She was helping to provide for Mama Evelyn even before Vince, while the other sisters and the brothers weren't doing a thing. And I think that the sisters resent the fact that when Tamar had money, Tamar wasn't acting like Tony Braxton, trying to bring everybody on her back. And I think that's the biggest struggle when you are not even the breadwinner of the family, but when you are one of the most successful people in your family. When you are one of the most successful siblings in and you're a part of a large family, then a lot falls on your shoulder. Everybody feels like you're a bank. And at every time they're in need, you are the person that they should come to borrow, to beg. And if you dare say no, it becomes a problem. That's why me and one of my brothers don't talk right now, because I would say yes, 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 yes all the time, trying to help him out. And the one time I said no because I needed it and I couldn't give my last at that point in time, ooh, because he was a man at the time, man decided that he was going to curse me clean out. And when I tell y'all, I laid him out verbally. Because one thing about a Libra is that we are calm, we are cool. We will let saner heads prevail. We will let you drag us to hell and back, and we will say, God bless you on your journey. But there will come a time when enough is enough, and we're going to tell you about yourself, and it's going to hurt. And when I was done with him that day, Even my mom was in the house like, okay, done, done. She felt it for him. She felt for him the way I was dragging him up and through that house that day. And after that day, I never spoke to him again. I am literally that type of person. Done with you. You want to be disrespectful after I have helped and helped and helped and helped. And the one time I say no and I explain why I'm saying no, it becomes, oh, y'all have never done anything for me. What? And that's the type of energy Tawanda gives. She's the type that you will help her for 10 days straight. And on the 11th day, you say, I can't help you anymore. It becomes, oh, y'all are horrible people and y'all never do anything for me. And it's always about you. Selfish. Everybody is selfish. Girl, I just helped you 10 days straight. What are you talking about? Miss Cece says, and Tawanda had the nerve to tell Tony to call the police on Yeah, I didn't understand that. For a little sister fight. What? How many times have they fought? It's hate. It's pure hate. Hey, Ines. It's pure hate. And I am so sad for those sisters. You lost a sister? And all she wanted y'all to do was to use this show to come together. And instead of having fun and going on trips and doing lighthearted stuff, y'all on the show being hateful. The niece already told her story. She already told her story out loud. So what difference would it make if she went and she sat with her aunt on a podcast and talked about it? How many years did y'all sweep Tamar's trauma under the rug until it was convenient for y'all to bring it up for Ian Levin's aunt's show? Isn't that crazy? And Trina is still out here defending her dead husband, ex-husband. What side, what side does he have in this story other than he was being inappropriate, grossly inappropriate with a teenager who is his niece? And all Trina had to do, because the dead can't talk, all she had to do, one second, y'all, let me reload this because, okay, we're back. All she had to do was just come out and say, you know what? I apologize to my niece for what she experienced. I'm sorry that I played a part in invalidating her experience, and I hope that we can talk and heal going forward. That's all Trina had to come out here and say. But no, she doesn't want to be wrong. She doesn't want to appear as one of those, old black women who the only thing that they see is, oh, you wanted my man. And as Queen Sheba puts it, they don't see girls as girls. They don't see girls as girls. You're looking at a minor, you're looking at a teenager, but you can't see that beyond you're a woman and you feel like this little girl wanted your man. And since she wants to be grown, quote unquote, defend you're not going to defend her, and you're not going to hold your nasty husband accountable for his nasty behavior. And y'all want us to feel like Tamar is the problem when you're out here defending a predator? Tamar is the problem. To wander with a man who can't even help her with a down payment on her home, on their home, because baby, you're living in that same house with that man, and Tamar is the problem. That's highly problematic to me. That you're with this man, y'all are trying to buy a house together, a home together, and neither of you could afford a down payment. And the person who made the down payment on your home is the person you hate the most in the whole world, it seems like. And y'all don't see that that's kind of a mental illness right there. Because how are you going to hate the person who has helped you the most? Somebody make it make sense. And then Tawanda wanted Tony to file charges, and Tony and Tamar are out here cool right now. Like, you can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. Tony and Tamar out here cool as a cucumber right now. Tony couldn't make it to Birdman's performance, and who was there? Tamar, wiping his sweat like a good sister-in-law. I know a lot of people made that feel weird or look weird, but somebody brought up a clip of Tony Braxton. I don't know what scene it was in the Braxton Family Values, but Vince came into the house. He greeted Tony, and as he was walking out the room, Tony Braxton was behind him, slapping his butt with both hands. She was literally slapping both butt cheeks. Which is worse? Wiping some sweat. The man is performing. He's sweating. His sister-in-law dabbed his forehead. Which one's worse? Dabbing some sweat from his forehead or slapping some booty cheeks with both hands? Like, the receipts just keep receipting when it comes to Tamar versus her sisters. And all the receipts are in Tamar's favor. All of them. All of them. I think Tamar has spent a long time just being quiet about a lot of the trauma she's faced being part of that family. I think because she can't openly talk about it, I think perhaps she acts out a lot. And she just wants to be her own person. And sometimes people with big personalities, they come across as too much to other people who aren't confident in themselves. When you are the person who, when you walk into a room, all eyes are on you, everybody wants to crowd around you because you're the life of the party, you will find that people will hate you for that. I saw a meme that said, people will hate you because of how other people love you. And that's real. That's real. I feel like the sisters, Tawanda, Trina, and even Tracy at some point in time, may her soul rest in peace, they all felt like they should have been up next. They felt like Tony got her win in the music industry. They all felt like we can all sing. When is it going to be my turn? And it never happened for them. And then, boom, the oldest sister, the oldest child, and then the baby sister are the ones that really got stardom through music. And I feel like at some point they resented Tony, excuse me, and now that resentment has turned towards Tamar. I hope they can figure it out. I really do. Moving on to Selling Sunset. I don't know if y'all watch that series on Netflix, and if you don't, this is there's gonna be a lot of spoilers here. I'm gonna even talk about the whole season because I watched all, what was it, 10 or 9 episodes, and I fast forwarded through a lot of the scenes. I do not like Chriselle. I really can't stand Amanza. Chelsea is my favorite on the show, but I hate that she is aligned with Chriselle. I don't feel like Christine was the problem seasons ago. Christine was making money for that firm. Lots of money. Nicole was making lots of money for that firm. And here comes Chriselle, who was selling in the valley, and she starts to date the boss, Jason. Jason is the problem. I said it on my TikTok. I said it on Twitter. Jason is the problem. I said it last season. Jason is the problem. He's dating all these women in the firm, and then for whatever reason, he remains close to them. I don't know if it's like keeping a window open so that any point in time he can jump back through it. He talks about his love for Chriselle. It's just that he didn't want children, so they had to break up, right? But I agreed with Nicole and I agree with Christine when they said that Chriselle was getting high end listings because she was dating Jason. I agree with them because how does this lady come from selling properties in the valley to selling these multi-million dollar um properties in Hollywood? When Chelsea wanted to join the Hoppenheim group, she literally had to prove herself worthy. She had to sell a property before they even hired her. So Nicole wasn't wrong, and I'm saying that with my chest. Chriselle was getting those properties simply because she was sleeping with the boss, in my opinion. That is my opinion. That's how it looked. Because there is no way that Nicole, she was at the firm before Chriselle. Chriselle starts dating the boss, and all of a sudden, you are giving Chriselle properties that you really should have been giving Nicole or Christine to show. Those are the facts. Those are the facts, in my opinion. And Jason keeps firing people because they are feuding with his exes. He fired Christine because of Chriselle, and here he goes firing Nicole once again because of Chriselle. And my thing is, Chriselle started the whole thing. I get it. You felt offended because this lady, called out what she deemed to be facts. That girl, you're getting all these high end properties because you're sleeping with the boss. And because she said it and she said it out loud, you're like, oh, and you're a drug addict and you overdosed. And Nicole was pissed. And every time these women Mary, Chriselle, every time they have issues with somebody, they run on to Jason, expecting him to throw people out of the company. And for me, if I am off the clock and I get into a disagreement with a coworker who is saying disparaging things about me, and I literally say, "Be your mama," because literally that's what Nicole said. Chriselle once again hops into Chriselle once again hops into a conversation that has nothing to do with her, calls this girl an addict, says she OD'd, whether that's true or not. Again, the conversation had nothing to do with Chriselle. Emma and Nicole had already had a conversation that day and they squashed it. Y'all are having a Friendsgiving and people are saying what they're thankful for. And Chriselle is literally like shushing Nicole. This Everybody else got to say what they're thankful for, and you don't want this girl to speak. And so, of course, one of the messy boots is like, okay, what is this tension at the table? What's going on? And Chriselle was ready to be like, yeah, I mean, y'all know what's happening. Let's not act dumb. Being unkind. And the girl who asked the question clocked it. Chriselle, you're being unkind. Stop. I have a right to ask. Everybody else got the opportunity to say what they're thankful for. And as soon as this lady says, you know what, I'm thankful for my eyesight because I had an allergic reaction or whatever, and or a procedure, and I couldn't see for 24 hours. So you're like, okay, we got it. Nicole is thankful for sight. Like what? You didn't do that to anybody else at the table when they were saying what they were thankful for. So once again, Chriselle starts it. You're saying disparaging things about this lady. Your parents, Chriselle, died because they were addicts. So one would think that you'd be more sensitive in how you come for somebody if you feel like they have a problem. But no, you're just throwing this out at every turn. And so Nicole said, when Chriselle says, you're an addict, you OD'd, you OD'd, and Nicole said, girl, you must be taught, you are mistaking me for your parents. I was like, get her, Nicole. Maybe it's because I'm black, but I did not see not one thing wrong with what Nicole said. Because if you're going to keep coming for me about this drug addiction stuff, knowing that your parents were addicts and they died because of that, because they had a drug problem, and you're going to keep throwing this in my face and I'm saying that it's a lie, then baby, yes, you must be mistaking me for your parents. She didn't say you must be mistaking me for your dead mama and your dead daddy, because that's what I would have said. Since we want to talk about addicts and people ODing, girl, you must be mistaking me for your dead mama and your dead daddy who died because they OD'd. But the girl didn't even say that. All she said was, you're mistaking me for your parents. And all of a sudden it's, oh my God, get her out of here. That is so horrible. But it wasn't horrible when this girl was spreading defamatory statements, calling this girl an addict, and talking about how she does coke, and talking about how she OD'd. Girl, how would you know that? Do you have her medical records? And let's stop acting as if Emma wasn't really sleeping with that married man. She was. Period. So what did Nicole do wrong, really? Fought back? And when she sat in that office with Jason, and I don't even remember what the other brother's name is, because again, Jason is the problem. Jason is the problem. So when she sat in that office and she said, I went to that dinner and I was calm the entire time. I wasn't looking for drama. I wasn't attacking anybody. I'm damned if I do. I'm damned if I don't. I'm damned if I don't say anything back. And I'm damned if I say anything back. And it's like, how am I the only one being fired, but she's not being fired for attacking me? And Chriselle has been attacking this girl since last season. But again, because Jason was dating Chriselle, whose side is he going to take? Chriselle's side, even though Nicole has been at that firm for years from the start. Right? Right? Letting get. I was like, what did Nicole do that's so wrong? A blow is a blow. Mentioning parents was mean, but it was what it is. Saying she needs to get fired because of that. That was crazy to me. And Christine, Christine and Nicole, they both need to find out how they can sue the Oppenheim group for wrongful dismissal. Because really and truly, these agents don't need to engage with each other. I get it that it's a reality TV show, but the truth of the matter is they don't need to engage with each other. They can go and sell these luxury homes and call in and say, hey, I just sold a property for $30 million. Let somebody ring the bell for me. Oh, y'all are having a staff dinner. I don't really need to be there. They really don't need to engage with each other. So to fire somebody because she was being attacked. And yes, as she said, my response was savage, but it's because I was being attacked. I was backed into, you're literally backing somebody into a corner and not expecting that your face, backing somebody into a corner, putting their backs against the rope, putting their backs against the wall. They have no way out. And you think that your face is not going to get slashed? You think they're not going to scrape and fight and kick their way out? I'm sorry, Nicole did nothing wrong. And I saw the clip for the reunion where she's going to try to apologize again, and Chriselle is still gonna be nasty. It's like, own your stuff, Chriselle. In the same way that I don't remember the name of the new girl, but I guess she's supposedly related to Sofia Vergara, whatever her name is. Um, all the girl asked Chriselle was, "Is there a problem?" And Chriselle just got nasty, like, oh, do you really want to go there? Do you really want to go there? And then all of a sudden puts up a ID asking the girl, do you know this lady? Because she said that you lived in her building and you scratched her, you keyed her car. Like, what does that have to do with the girl feeling like her being at that open house with you and she's asking question and you are looking at her nasty and she's asking you like, is there an issue? What does that got to do with whether or not she keyed somebody's car or not? And this is what I keep telling people. Chriselle is the problem, but for whatever reason, Jason not seeing it, and some of these fans aren't seeing it either. Mary is also the problem too, because how are you mother hen of the office, you're the office manager, but you're not managing the interpersonal relationships. You are part of the Messy Brigade squad too, Mary. And how they wanted to, how last season, Mary wanted to berate, Chelsea. Mary wanted to berate Chelsea, talking about she's not dressed appropriately. Let me tell you, see, from season one, all I've seen on this show is titties out. Bree Shiesty, one of Nick Cannon's baby mama, she showed up to a showing with just with a jacket, with a pantsuit on and no bra. All those women do in and through that office is show titties. But because Chelsea's skirt was just a little bit too short, here goes Mary going to who? Jason, saying, oh, I think Chelsea needs to dress a little bit more appropriately. That was foul. That was vile as a woman. You're the office manager. If you felt like she was dressed that inappropriately, you could have gone to her. And it's been up and stuck since then because what Mary did was vile. So Mary's house gets robbed, and Chelsea sends her some flowers. Mind you, everybody else is telling Mary, "Oh, I'm sorry this happened to you," da, 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 on camera. Bree made sure she showed up to Mary's house to make sure that she got her a check filming for that day. But Chelsea sending some flowers to say, "I'm thinking of you. I'm sorry this happened to you." That becomes this huge problem. And oh, it wasn't genuine. Girl, we Chelsea knows y'all are not friends. You know that you and Chelsea aren't friends, but are y'all enemies? To the point where something traumatic happens to you, this girl can't send you some flowers. You want to dictate how she should have shown up. Oh, next time just send a text. Okay, that's fine, but don't tell me that my actions was not genuine and that I did it for the camera. And this girl is telling you, she's telling you she didn't know that you were filming that day. And as soon as she calls Mary out, here comes Jason. Cut the cameras, cut the cameras. Nah. Because when Mary was sitting there trying, calling herself, trying to say that Chelsea was being fake or whatever, y'all didn't want the cameras cut. When Mary came up to you last season, Jason, and was saying, how Chelsea doesn't dress appropriately. You didn't want the cameras cut, but all of a sudden your ex-girlfriend Mary's being called out. Now you want the cameras cut. Oh, we're done. No, that's BS. And I'm glad Chelsea called it out. No, you didn't want the cameras cut when you were getting your content. When you thought that Mary was going to put me in my place. When you thought Mary was going to put me in my place, you didn't want the cameras cut. But now that I got her number and I called it, now you want the cameras off? No. F out of here, Jason. And I'm glad that Chelsea said it. I'm glad that Chelsea said it because it needed to be said. And then what was crazy was Mary once again meeting up with Jason one on one, and she's like, "Oh, I just feel like I gotta leave. I don't want to leave, but I have to for my mental health. There's just like so much happening." And Jason's like, I don't want you to leave. So whatever I have to do. So what? Y'all about to fire Chelsea because Mary's sensitive? What? Mary wants to call everybody else out but don't want to be called out on her BS? How about y'all just go to work and stop going to dinners and lunches? How about that? And brunch. How about that? How about Jason and the other twin stay out of the women's petty arguments? How about Jason tell them, "Listen, if all y'all want to do is fight, then all of y'all can leave." How about that? Instead of taking sides, and the only side that you're taking is the side of your ex-girlfriend. I mean, who else in the office is about to be Jason's next girlfriend? Who else? I think he even dated Nicole at one point. I think he did. So that's three that we know of. That's crazy. That is crazy. I don't like Chriselle. I think she can go. I don't even think that she sells enough. She acts like she sells enough. Mary don't even do nothing for real, for real. She's just in that office, collecting checks because she doesn't sell homes anymore. She's a so-called office manager. So definitely not the person bringing money in. So outside of the fact that she was there when the company started, what else is she bringing to the table? Chelsea brings in a lot of money. Nicole brings in a lot of money. But to fire somebody because they were being attacked And they said, literally, your mama and your daddy too. That was wild to me. And I heard a rumor that when Jason asked for the cameras to be cut, he was threatening to cancel the show. And I'm like, Chelsea didn't even say nothing that bad to Mary. All she said was, girl, when the truth fully comes out, you're going to look bad. That's all she said to the lady. So because Mary gets mad and leaves the table and says, "Oh, get the mics off of me," now it's cut the cameras. Jason, I need you to stop. I need you to stop. Stop dating these women in your office. Because obviously you cannot separate your personal from your professional life. You can't. But anyways, y'all, that is my take on the Braxtons and Selling Sunset. Mainly just my rant. If you haven't watched Selling Sunset, it's a good series. I honestly didn't. I'm not going to pretend that I really watched. Literally was fast forwarding through scenes. I fast forward through a lot of scenes. The scene that was really, really good was the scene from the Thanksgiving dinner. Oh, and another thing, Mary seeing Chelsea's name on the dinner table at Bree's red Galentine party. And she goes to a corner and she's just crying hysterically, like, oh my God, I'm so traumatized because I saw her name. Girl, why are you traumatized? You're acting like this lady fought you. You're acting like she put hands on you. All she said was, girl, I sent you some flowers because I wanted you to know that I'm thinking about you while you're going through a hard time. We're not friends, but that doesn't mean that we're enemies. And you're here saying that I did it for cameras. And when the truth comes out, you're going to look bad. That's all the girl said to you. That's all she said. So why are we crying hysterically because you saw a name tag? Oh my God, I'm just so traumatized. Just seeing her name just triggered me. Triggered you for what? Karen, what are you triggered about? Exactly. Anyways, that's it, y'all. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter now called X at How I See It, and on TikTok at How I See It TV. Remember that you can find a drop-off location to donate items to Jamaica or Haiti or Cuba. I'm not sure what's happening with relief efforts for Haiti and Cuba, but I do know that for Jamaica, if you want to find a drop off location, you just probably gotta just put it into Instagram, um, Jamaican relief efforts, and enter the area you live in. Or, as I said, two reputable organizations that I know that you can donate to, and your money will go where it needs to go to, is Food for the Poor Jamaica and Ramesh Entertainment on Instagram. You go to their Instagram, you get all the information you need on how to send money, and Walk Good or Shirley Ralph. Go to Shirley Ralph's Instagram, and and you should be able to figure out how to donate from there. But there are several relief efforts going around right now. If you want to help, if your heart is leading you towards helping, please do so. Right now, I'm planning my own relief efforts at my job where I work at a school, so we sent out some information yesterday asking parents to donate clothes, new or gently used clothes, or diapers, because people do need food, but they also need clothes. There are lots of moms. I just watched a video of a mom and her infant, and she was just in tears because her entire house is gone. They had to run out of the house during the storm to find shelter. So I'm sure her baby doesn't have a lot of clothes right now. who knows how she's going to be getting diapers. So I just felt like, you know what, let's do clothes and diapers. And on my own, I'm going to try to do something else as well. So if your heart is leading you towards donating, please do so. All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Until my next live or my next video, walk good. Bye.